Hi guys, welcome to my channel Lush Gardener. I hope you guys are fine and are safe. So guys, this video is going to be on an update video of my Papercrete pot which I had made in the month of March. A lot of people were asking the update about how the pot is doing. So guys, I'm going to show it to you. Now definitely I have changed the succulents in this pot, but you can see how strong the pot is still. So the pot has been doing quite well. In fact, it has become even more stronger over the period of time. Even I had a lot of doubts when I was making this pot. I thought that over the period of time the pot might fall apart, but in fact it is doing quite well. You can see even my succulents are doing quite well. So I decided that I'm going to make few more of these Papercrete pots. Now if you want to know the entire process, I'll put the link in the description below. You can check the entire process how to make Papercrete. Now guys, over here this is another Papercrete pot that I have made. So whenever I end up with a lot of waste paper, I immediately soak them in water and then start creating the paper pulp in order to make these Papercrete pots. Now guys, the best thing about Papercrete pots are that they are extremely lightweight as compared to concrete pot. But when you tend to look at these Papercrete pots, they kind of give you a look of a concrete pot. The only difference is the weight. These are very lightweight. So guys, I personally prefer these raw looking pots because when you place succulents in them, they look extremely beautiful. Now you all know how beautiful succulents are, and I always prefer that whenever I look at the succulents are the ones that should grab your attention and not the pot. So these not so perfect pots tend to increase the beauty of the succulents. I will be putting in some succulents and I'm going to show you. Now over here I have made around 9 of these Papercrete pots. These are around 2 to 2.5 inch in depth, which is good enough for smaller succulents. So again guys, as you can see, they are not in a perfect shape. They all have a very unique design. That is what I like about Papercrete pots, because every time you tend to unmold them from the containers, you always end up with a very different and unique shape. Now guys, over here I have all of my 9 pots that I have unmolded. Now I'm going to put them out in the sun for them to dry at least for 2 to 3 days. Unfortunately there is not much sun, but still I will try and make best use of the sunlight that I have. So now guys, I've gone ahead and done with the process of drying. So now I have added in my succulent soil mix, which is 80% aquarium sand and 20% of garden soil. And if you also notice another thing, the Papercrete pots have turned slightly lighter in color. So this is one good benefit about Papercrete pots, or even for that matter terracotta or concrete pots. When they are moist or wet, they are darker in color, and once when they tend to dry out, they become lighter in color. So this is a good indication that the soil inside the pot has completely got dried out. But again guys, don't completely depend on this. It's always better to check the soil before watering your succulents. So I've gone ahead and added 1 succulent in each pot. As I said, the pot depth is only 2.5 inches. So definitely I'm not going to be putting more than 1 succulent, because if you're going to overcrowd, then there will be a problem. So guys, as you can see, it's pretty simple. With waste material, with waste paper, you can create these pots. And as you can see, as I said, that these pots, because they are raw, they tend to look like they're made out of concrete, but they are made out of paper. They are very light, and you can see how these pots are enhancing the beauty of these succulents. So I usually prefer to keep succulents in these not so perfect pots, because that's when the beauty of succulents tends to stand out. So let me try and give you a side profile of these pots. You will be able to see how beautiful and how rustic they look like, and these basically tend to increase the beauty of our succulents. Now guys, I usually prefer to use grey cement and not white, because I'm not very comfortable with white cement. I have tried white cement earlier as well, but what I've noticed is over a period of time they tend to develop cracks. They are not as strong as the grey cement. So I always prefer to use grey cements, whether it's for Papercrete pots or for regular concrete pots. So let me also show you the other designs that I've made with these papercrete pots. I've made this bowl as well. You can see it's pretty light. If it was a concrete pot, definitely it would have been slightly more difficult, but as you can see, it's very light. Now guys, what I would advise you is, if you're making a slightly larger pot, then try to increase the amount of cement, the grey cement in your mixture. What I would suggest is use 2 parts of paper pulp and 3 parts of grey cement. With this, the structure will be even more stronger. So as you can see, this papercrete pot looks very glossy, very shiny. It tends to look like a ceramic pot. That is because it has just been removed from the container. So usually for a couple of hours it stays glossy like this, and then it slowly starts turning back to matte, somewhat what it looks like a raw concrete pot. So guys, I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep propagating.